Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to When Wisdom Talks. I'm Alisha.
And I'm Kadesha.
And I am Naomi. And welcome to When Wisdom Talks. Another episode, another month, you guys. Listen, okay. Will somebody tell me where the year is going?
It is flying.
I have no idea. We are halfway through the year in June. I'm like, whew, where's the time going? But anyway, we're here and we are here with a whole new month of shows with our topic being transformed and renewed. And I'm excited because, again, we always have a wonderful month of shows planned. We take the time to plan these shows, especially with you in mind. So hope that you enjoy it. And again, as always, this episode and all other episodes are sponsored by Wisdom on the Wall and Be Inspired Global. And you know, we got to tell you what our mission is. It is to empower women and men to live better and wiser through engaging discussions, fun activities like one we have for y'all tonight, but I'm not going to spoil it, and inspiring special guest interviews also like the one we have tonight. So y'all get ready, sit back, relax, enjoy, get your little drinky drink, get your little snacky snack,
Water.
and enjoy it. Water, absolutely. Not that kind of drink.
But you know what? Like Tab said, whatever you do, that's your business.
That's your business.
It's your thing.
I love it. I love it. Well, welcome again to the month of June. Today is June 3rd, right? I'm losing track of time. Is it the 3rd or the 4th?
It's the 3rd.
Oh, the 3rd. Praise the
Yes.
Lord. So each month, I don't know if you know, but every month has a bunch of themes and things that like the national celebrations, if you will. And so we've been having a good time just picking a few each month and highlighting those. So we're kicking off the month because I know we are getting ready to go to the beach. We're getting ready to just be out. It's summertime just about. And we want to be looking right. And so we want to help you to eat right too. And so today we're going to be highlighting the national themes. That is National Eat Your Vegetables Day, National Veggie Burger Day, and National Hydration Day. And you're like, Kadesha, what does that have to do with Wisdom on the Wall? Well, we want to encourage you to be wise in every area of your life, and that includes healthy eating. So we have a special guest tonight. I'm just going to call her our own Rachel Way. But we have a special guest who is a vegetarian and has been, right? And is not just one because it's popular to be, but has been for some time. And so she has some cool recipes that she wants to share with us if you desire to eat that lifestyle every now and again. But before we get into the show, you know, we got to actually do a few things for us. Go ahead and share the show. It takes 1-2 seconds to share the show. At the bottom of your phone or your screen, whatever you're viewing from, should have a share button. So go ahead and share that if you would with some of your friends, your coworkers, or even your frenemies. If you're not following us already on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, we would greatly appreciate your follow at When Wisdom Talks. Remember that this is our third event that we're doing every week. Monday nights, we have a pop-up prayer call at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday morning, we have an empowerment prayer call, and that's at 6 a.m. And we've just come and are still going through, a pretty rough year. And I had someone reach out to me earlier, and we met through business, but she said, you know what? I know you are a woman of faith, or I don't even know what she said. I think something like you're spiritually in tune or something. Can I ask for a special request? So you never know when people need prayer. And she just submitted her prayer request, and it almost brought me to tears, because that's the whole point for me, is I just want to serve God and I want to be his light. And so I know that's what we collectively want to do as a Wisdom on the Wall. So anyway, we're praying on Mondays. We're encouraging you on Wednesdays. And of course, we're here on Thursdays. If you ever want to connect with us, you can do so by our website, wisdomonthewall.com, or just shoot us an email at info@wisdomonthewall.com. So we're ready to get started. Alisha, take it away, my dear.
All righty. Thank you much. Well, this is our Girl What's Your Story with
twins.
Oh, y'all a little too delayed. All right now. It's Girl What's Your Story with a twist. And this is the time where we just kind of share what we had an opportunity to enjoy, partake in over the past week. And it gives you just a little view into what it is that we do behind those three things that Kadesha mentioned in addition to our everyday lives. But the twist is that we want to hear from you as well. So while we're sharing, please type away in the chat what it is that you did over this past week, whether you tried a new food, a new movie, new dance routine, I don't know, whatever it was that brought you a little smile, share that. Yeah. Share that with us, okay? So I'll go ahead and kick us off, because I don't think mine was as exciting as maybe you'll hear in a moment. But just kind of as a quick backdrop, when the pandemic first started, in addition to, going and buying all the toilet paper and the paper towels and all the candy, just to kind of keep me, I actually ended up rediscovering my enjoyment for these seek and find little word things. Well, they actually have, I went to my favorite store, one of my favorite stores, but, the dollar store is a friend of mine. So I went to the dollar store and I actually went down a little book out, and they had the Bible version of it, which I thought was really cool, because what they actually have is the actual passage of scripture. So the one that I just finished was entitled, I Will Not Fail You. And it actually is based on the scripture, Joshua chapter 1, verses 1-8. So it puts the whole passage there. And then the words are embedded in there. So that kind of kept me through the beginning of the pandemic. And I had forgot that I had bought some more. So over this past week, the holiday weekend, the weather was crappy. And not to be a hater of anybody who probably traveled. But anyway, I was kind of glad the weather was bad, because it just allowed me the excuse to kind of, exactly, thank you, Naomi, I can sit and just chill with this. But it was really great, because not only did it give me peace of mind, quiet my spirit, but also built up my spirit, man, because you're reading the scriptures and just being encouraged with that. So, if you don't have a little hobby, a little past thing, something that'll kind of quiet you, soothe you, I would highly recommend the, seek and find word puzzles. I actually put them together myself as well, but they are just so awesome. And then if you can find one that's around a theme that kind of motivates you, it makes it all the better. So that's what I did. Not necessarily exciting, but it was my thing. It was my story. So with that, one of you could take it away.
Alisha, do you like the Sudokus as well?
You know what? I tried that. I don't really know it too well, so I think I just had to keep playing with it to kind of grasp it. But I've tried it probably one time, to be honest. So.
I mean, I don't do them, but I like my mother and people in my family, they do it. So I think Mike actually likes them too. So I always wonder, like, if other people like to do them.
It keeps your brain sharp.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'll go. So yeah, we celebrated 11 years of anniversary.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
What you got for me? What you got?
Leave it to me. I love it.
I thought you was gonna bust open a little clapper. So we went down to Charleston, South Carolina, and I was telling the girls earlier this week that it was a full trip, like a lot of activities and different, things that Mike had lined up for us. And y'all, I actually did good. Y'all will be proud of me. I did good on the jet skis, first of all. So I did those years ago with my friend. I sat on the back and she was like, Deesh, are you breathing? Are you alive? Because I was so quiet because I was so scared. So this time I wasn't as scared, even though like me and my husband, like the car is not our favorite place because he drives us too fast and crazy for me. But I was like, Jesus, you gonna get me on this water. I know you're gonna bring me back alive. So I was holding on tight, but we had a good time. And it was just breathe. He probably couldn't, but it was so just being on the water because it was like like you went through a safari on the jet skis, and so nice. It was. If I was in my head for a little bit, but I'm like, Lord, help me relax. So, but just being there, and we saw dolphins. It was and I'm like, Mike, don't run over the dolphins. But like they're smart enough not to, go under. Like dolphins are like really smart animals. So it was beautiful once I was able to relax. But one of the other things I did too that I did share with y'all, and I shared on Facebook, is going to the plantation, which I wasn't actually interested in going to. But after we went, I'm glad I did, because you could feel like a spirit of the ancestors, right? And just like their struggle. And I got teary-eyed just reading one of the like master's will and testaments, because these were things that we couldn't do. Like we couldn't write wills, you know what I mean? So it's like we couldn't do so much. And now that we can, we don't always take advantage of the things that we can do. So it was very eye-opening for me, got me on my soapbox, got me like even more motivated to live out the lives that, our ancestors couldn't live out. So great trip. Glad to be home in one piece. And thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. But had a good time. So had a good time with the hubby.
Yay. We're glad. We was praying for you the whole way. My Lord, take her, bring her on back safe, Lord. Her and her husband.
Those traveling mercies.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah.
But we glad you had a good time.
What did you do, Naomi?
Yeah, well, I did something that I haven't done in a long time. And what's crazy is I waited until I started school to do this. So I'm like, what was I thinking? But anyway, I started binge watching this show called Heart of Dixie. I don't know if you've ever heard of this show. It's really cool, but it's about a young lady who's in New York City, and she's in her 20s, and she just graduated from medical school. And so she has these dreams of becoming a heart surgeon like her father, who she later finds out is not her father. You like those kind of finding moments in the show, right? So just off of the first episode, it drew me in. She was approached by a man at her graduation who offers her a job in this small town. It's a fictional town, but it's a small town called Bluebell, Alabama.
Bluebell,
Alabama, with all the southern fixings, right? So when things don't pan out the way that this young lady thinks it should, she takes the offer and moves to Bluebell. And then she finds out that the man who approached her at her graduation is actually her real father, but he passed away and left this medical practice, half of it anyway, to her. The whole show is about her adjusting to this new small town and this new position. And she's also learning about her roots and who she is and who her deceased father was. And so the whole thing is just funny and full of love stories. So if you like some of those little sappy love stories, slapstick humor, it's kind of fast paced, and I loved it. And what's crazy, I was like, I had finished two assignments for school, and so I rewarded myself by binge watching a couple of episodes of the show, and got totally hooked to the point where I went and Google searched the show because it came out in 2011. So it's already it's been off the air for a few years now. But I Googled just to find out what the end was going to be because I couldn't wait. It was so
my goodness.
Anyway, I had a great time watching this show called Heart of Dixie. It's on Amazon Prime. So if anyone's interested, if you like that type of show, and it's really, really cool. So that's my girl, what's your story with a twist.
Awesome. Cool. I love it. Oh, well, thanks for sharing, ladies. And thanks for those out there who shared as well via the chat. But as we heard earlier, we have an awesome segment coming up. So I'm just going to toss it over to you, Kadesha. Go ahead and take it away.
Yes. So yeah, part of Wisdom on the Wall is just helping you live wiser in every day, right? So we are definitely a faith-based organization, but we like to make things practical, right? We believe faith without works is dead. And so one of the ways in which we can eat wiser, I guess, is starting to include some more veggies and, definitely make sure we stay hydrated. So again, the themes that we are going to highlight and focus on this week is National Eat Your Vegetables Day, National Veggie Burger Day, and then National Hydration. And so let me preface by saying we are not doctors, we are not nutritionists, we are not dietitians or anything like that, right? So we all have different body types, blood types, and honestly, I think the best advice you can receive is from the Holy Spirit, to be honest. However, God does give people who are gifted in those areas to assist you with that. So take what we're saying, pray about it, do your own thing with it, but we just want to at least introduce you to some different options, right? We don't always have to have pork chops and beef ribs all the time. Have a little vegetable, a little broccoli, a little string bean, a little corn every now and again, okay? So, we just want to have a discussion. We have a beautiful soul, a good friend of mine who's going to be joining us. She is a woman of faith. She is a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur. She is also still works full time, but she also happens to be a vegetarian. So we wanted to invite her on so she can give us, school us on some cool recipes, because I think that's an area in which we struggle with sometimes. Like, well, what am I going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? You're going to be all right, y'all. You're going to be full, I promise. So she can give us some ideas, and y'all, she's going to do a demo for us. So we're excited. So after this brief video, we're going to go ahead and bring out Miss Davina Moore. Look, we like dancing. Look, don't get us started. Hey, honey.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about. I'm just excited to talk about food because I like to eat.
Ooh, me too.
Well, you in the right bunch then.
Yes, you are.
But we're thankful that you took the time. We know that you are a busy woman.
Yes.
We know that you have a very tight schedule, and we're grateful that you were able to join us tonight as our special guest. So we're looking forward to the conversation. We're looking forward to the recipes and the demo. So we kind of just wanted to start by, why do you feel like, and anybody can chime in, but why do you feel like it's so hard for people to eat healthy first and foremost? And then I guess part B of that is to include water and, our regular diet.
Yeah. I think first it's the myth that it's expensive to eat more vegetables and to eat healthy is expensive. And it's not. You just have to figure out how to incorporate those things into your diet. So I love how you talked about add some string beans, add some corn. I mean, those are things that you can get. You can get frozen corn, a bag of frozen corn for $1 and some change. So you don't have to pick the fanciest, most expensive recipes to incorporate in your diet. You can start small. I think the other thing is people think it's time consuming. So it's easy to pop something in the microwave. It's easy to just fix a pizza or order some food or something like that. And so people are intimidated. Like, it's a lot of work to try to create a vegetarian dish. And it actually isn't. And so the one I'm going to show you today, you'll see how easy it really is to create a vegetarian dish. And I think also it's simple. You do have to be creative, but you just start thinking about things that you can swap out. So, it's easy to do a meatless day. So if you say, okay, well, I'm going to do a meatless taco day, swap your ground beef out for black beans. You can use everything else that you normally put in your taco, but instead of using beef or chicken or fish, use beans. And now you have a vegetarian day where you don't have meat. So I think it is being creative. There's so many resources out there now. Pinterest is my best friend. I'm sure everybody uses Pinterest now. But there's so many cool recipes and ideas on Pinterest that'll show you how to make easy swaps.
Yeah, I love that. So it sounds like, which is definitely Alicia's big word, is in being intentional. So you have to be intentional if you're going to eat that way throughout the week, because you got to plan for it, right? But I love that you brought out the fact that it can be inexpensive. And honestly, to me, I feel like I spend less when I'm not eating meat, because meat is expensive to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you actually save money when you're eating vegetables. So I love that. That was good. So Alisha, talk to us a little bit about throwing that water in there with us, so we make sure that we're getting our water intake throughout the day.
So it's interesting when we talk about the water, a lot of people who don't drink water, there are various excuses out there, but I wanted to just quickly share some reasons why water is really important to us. And I think once you hear those, regardless of what the excuses have been, I think they'll pale in comparison to what the benefits are. But first and foremost, we have to realize that 60% of our body weight is water. And a startling statistic for me was that 90% of our brain weight is water. So water is not just necessary to live optimally, but we need it to function, period, point blank. But I wanted, how I am with my acronyms. So there are a ton of benefits out there when we talk about water, but I just want to focus on 5 big ones, and we'll use WATER. So when we talk about the W, water is a weight loss aid. Because when you think about it, when you drink water, especially if you drink it before a meal, you feel fuller longer. So you're going to actually end up drinking water now. You'll end up eating less in calories. The A is it aids in digestion, because what it does is it actually helps with constipation, any type of abdominal issues like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, but it basically pushes the digestive process along. The T is toxin remover. So what the water does is allows that the toxins to go through us faster. And one thing that I thought was a cool saying was that inadequate hydration equals inadequate kidney function. So when you think about not having enough water, you're going to affect your kidneys, and you don't want to end up on dialysis.
Oh, wow.
The E is energy booster. What water does, it delivers vitamins and nutrients to all of our cells, but especially our muscle cells, because what it does is it helps in postponing any muscle fatigue, especially if you work out. And the R is for rehydrate our skin. So forget all of the expensive creams, the concoctions, the potions. Water is the best thing in terms of a defense against aging and wrinkling in the skin. So whatever those excuses was, I'm sure we could all find ourselves in one of those that we consider a benefit. And one of the other things that we were talking about, just to make it easy for people to get water into their diet, first and foremost, you can infuse it. Just put fruits. You can put fruits and vegetables in it. What it'll do is make it look colorful, but also flavorful. Because some people say water is boring. It doesn't taste like anything. The other thing is just make water drinking a natural part of your routine. One simple thing is, as soon as you get up in the morning, drink a glass or a bottle of water. First of all, they start flushing out your system, but also it becomes a natural part of what you do. And now you're getting towards that goal of how much water you want to drink. And a quick thing about goals, because of our smartphones today, we have so many apps out there that you can actually use to actually help you with keeping track of how much water you're drinking. 2 real quick ones for those, and this is good. First of all, they're free. I like free, but they're free. The other thing is you could use it either on your Android or iPhone, but one of them is called Daily Water Tracker Reminder. daily water tracker reminder, and the second one is Aqua Alert, which is the Aqua Alert water intake tracker. The other thing, real quickly, is always keep water handy. Don't leave home without a bottle of water. Out of sight is out of mind, especially when it comes to water. So you want to make sure you always have it handy. One other quick one is use a reusable straw. I haven't done this, but a lot of people swear by it. If you think about when we were a kid, everybody wants a straw as a kid with whatever you're drinking, whether they're blowing bubbles in it or whatever. But the thing is, they say when you use a straw, you drink more. So start using a straw with your water. And this last one is going to lead us right back to you, Davina, is eat more fruits and veggies because they are actually comprised of water. So there you have it. No more excuses, y'all. Water is
I'm trying. Lord have mercy. So Davina, can you, because we don't want to talk over people's heads, can you just go ahead and define, come on, Jesus, define vegetarian versus vegan so everybody knows?
Yeah. So when people are vegetarian, they still eat animal-based products. So you may eat eggs, you may eat cheese, butter, milk, just your regular products, breads and things like that may have dairy products still in it as a vegetarian. So you may not eat meat, you may not eat chicken, fish, beef, pork, but you do still eat products that have some type of, animal product in it. When you're vegan, you don't eat anything that has everything is plant-based, nothing has animal products in it. So when you're buying bread, when you're buying noodles, when you're anything, cookies, anything like that you're buying, you're making sure that those products don't have any type of animal products in it, whether it's milk, eggs, and those types of things. And a lot of products now, you'll see on the front of it, it'll have a V and it'll say that it's vegan certified, meaning that it does not have those products in it. And as well, when something's vegan certified, it also means that it's not manufactured in a machines and warehouses that also manufacture animal products. So they aren't using, they are using totally plant-based, animal-free machinery and things like that to create their food. So there are some products that you'll find that you read the back. So I'll give you an example. Oreos. Oreos are actually vegan. They have no animal products in them.
Yeah.
But they're not what we consider certified vegan because Nabisco makes tons of products that have animal products in it, and they're probably using some of the same machinery and things like that to make Oreos. So a lot of vegans do eat Oreos because they don't, by naturally how they make them, they don't have any animal products in it, but they cannot certify it as vegan because of the machinery and things like that they use to make them.
Right. Go Oreos.
It's so good eating those Oreos.
Right. Get me one tonight. I love it.
So I'm going to put Oreo back on my list of things I can get.
There you go.
That's funny. So, Davina, how long have you been a vegetarian? Kind of talk to us about that lifestyle.
Yeah. So as Kadesha said, it's not been a hard transition for me because I grew up vegetarian. So early on, my mom, when I was very young, transitioned to being a vegetarian. And so that's all I really know is being a vegetarian. Of course, as I've gotten older, I've tried different things. But for me, I tell people, for me, it's almost like if you didn't grow up eating tofu, it's probably not something that you're like, I want to go eat some tofu. So for me, I didn't grow up eating chicken, so it's not something that I'm like, I think I want to go out. So, for me, it is now it's become something that is just who I am because that's how I grew up. But there are other things, like being vegan is something that I do have to be conscious about because I did grow up eating cheese and things like that. So vegan is something that if the times where I do switch over and I'm practicing a vegan lifestyle, I do have to be very intentional about that.
Got it. Love it. And so are you are you the baby girl? Is she gonna live vegetarian as well?
Well, her daddy's a meatitarian, so
Love that.
That's cute.
Meatitarian.
We have a new word. I love it.
so, she loves a Chick-fil-A chicken nugget, and I don't deprive her, from it. But in the home, we eat mostly vegetarian. I don't cook a lot of meat products in the home, so we do tend to eat more vegetarian, or they do. It's difficult because sometimes I end up making two separate things, something for them, something for myself. But we've learned to manage.
And that's what life is all about, finding balance.
Oh man,
I love it.
I have a quick question, and this is, I guess, this might be a question not just for me, but maybe other people in the audience who are maybe meatitarians, but still also, eat veggies and love salad, so on and so forth. But what would be a good first step or two if you're considering that as a lifestyle, going vegetarian or even vegan?
Yeah. What I would do is I would start having vegetarian days. So don't go cold turkey. Don't just say, unless you're a cold turkey type of person, I'm not. But I would start out with having vegetarian days. So if you say 2 days out of the week, I'm not going to have any meat with my meals. Then that's what you can do to start. And like I said, the ideas I gave, like swap out your, ground turkey or your ground beef for black beans or something like that. Another easy transition, while the substitutes or the vegetarian substitutes are not the healthiest options, I'll just put it out there. They are good options, especially for someone who's transitioning. So I'm sorry, you might have hear the 2-year-old in the background. So
that's all right.
That's not right.
Right. It's a very good option for anybody who's transitioning. So, instead of having, we talk about veggie burger night. So instead of having, burgers, beef burgers or turkey burgers for dinner, find a good veggie burger that you like and start, having nights where you do a veggie burger instead. If you like spaghetti, I think spaghetti is a great way to kind of swap out the meat because you have the sauce. You can put veggies and things like that in the sauce to complement the sauce, and you don't miss not having the meat. You can also incorporate a veggie substitute into the sauce that may hide the taste if you're like, I'm not crazy about the veggie meat, but putting it in a sauce sometimes helps mask the taste and it's a little palatable, So I would start with just kind of small steps.
Yeah. And what I find
good.
What I find for me is like texture. So because that's what you're missing is the texture of meat. So those are mushrooms in there. You'll be surprised how mushrooms will take on, like it is thick like meat or have the texture sometimes of meat. The other thing is like seasoning. Like I use Montreal steak seasoning on the fake veggie meat. So it'll start to taste like meat. You know what I mean? So it's still, you still can season it the way that you would like to have it seasoned, but you just got to be creative, like Davina mentioned.
What are your thoughts on processed meats like Beyond Meat and stuff like that? Because you were talking about the substitutes for meat and spaghetti and things. So how do you feel about that?
You just have to be very careful. A lot of them tend to be really high in sodium. So you do have to read the labels and kind of make sure you're looking at that. But I eat them. I don't eat them every day, but I think that they're good. They are good options. I sent Kadesha a recipe for an Impossible meatball. So there's a veggie meat called Impossible Burger. They do patties and they also do like almost like a ground beef type of substitute. And I use the ground beef. It comes in a pack. You can just get it at the grocery store. I use the ground beef. I make meatballs, and I make it the same way you would make a turkey meatball or beef meatball. Same ingredients. You put all your seasonings in it, your onion powder, garlic, oregano, parsley, whatever you put in your meatballs. And with Impossible Burger, it's vegan, so I don't put egg in it. So then you've created, and it will hold together. I even put them in the air fryer, roll them up, put them in the air fryer, and let them cook. And now you've created, a vegan meatball. But you just have to be careful that you're not eating it every day, that it's not become like the main source of your vegetarian diet. You just have to, that's why learn how to use other things. Beans are really, really good substitutes. I make chickpea tuna salad. I take chickpeas and I mash it up and I put mayo in it and relish. And then I use black salt, which black salt actually, when you smell it, it smells like boiled eggs. And so when you put it in something, it gives it the flavor of eggs. So I will mash up my chickpeas with my mayo, my black salt, some relish, and I eat it as is, like tuna fish. So beans are good.
Yes, that's definitely different.
I'm looking at Alicia's face. I'm like,
you would definitely have to trick me with that one. You couldn't tell me what I was eating. I don't know.
And I think it's just about being open, right? And because I mean, for some people, their eating is like for life or death, right? So it's like if they don't find a healthy option soon, like it could lead to death, right? So I think it's just about how important it is to your particular lifestyle, and then just being open. I mean, for me, I mean, I grew up eating meat, but one of the things that I feel like God was kind of whispering to me, was like, it wasn't that he was trying to take anything from me. It was like he was trying to give me something. And in my particular case, I felt like it was longer life, because I have people in my family who died of colon cancer and things of that nature. So it's like, sometimes when it's life or death, it's like, okay, well, let me get on the bandwagon so I can figure this thing out. And then you're like, oh, it's actually pretty cool and it's pretty tasty. And it's like, Lord, as long as you don't take my potatoes away, we good.
Those fries.
Jesus. But I think it's definitely about being open.
The one thing I tell people is you have to manage your expectations. Like there's very few substitutes out there that taste like the real thing. So if I say you're eating a vegetarian chicken sandwich, don't think it's going to taste like Chick-fil-A. Just make sure, and that's the thing. If you want to do it, and I love how you guys talk about being intentional, it's something that you are you're being very intentional about. And so what that means is managing my expectations. If I'm switching a job and I'm intentional about the fact that I want to go out and be an entrepreneur, then I know that paycheck may not come every 2 weeks in that bank account the same way it did when I worked for Joe Blow. But at the same time, this is something that I really want to do, and that I understand why I'm doing it, and you have a reason for doing it, and that you want to do. And so in that, you have to manage your expectations and find what works for you. Chickpea tuna is great for me. Alicia's like, nope, not doing it, but that's
okay. Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Excited about the demo that's coming up.
Look, you're gonna have to give me some chickpea tuna, and I'm gonna give it to her. But yes, let's go ahead and get into the demo. What you got for us?
Okay, so I actually am going to make vegan mac and cheese. And so when I say manage your expectations, this is what I mean. So when we talk about vegan mac and cheese, this isn't your creamy Southern down home mac and cheese. It's gonna almost come out like more like a casserole, or like maybe like a fettuccine type of sauce for it. But it's something that you can make. When I talk about, people thinking it's too hard, it's very easy. So I prep everything, but I'll go through it. And I have the recipe just because it does make a bit. So first, this here is about 8 ounces of whole wheat pasta noodles. This is a penne pasta. You can use elbow. This is what I've used. This is the whole grain Burrell penne pasta. Be careful with your pastas, especially if you're wanting to make it vegan, because some pastas do have egg in it. If you're just doing vegetarian, then don't worry about it. But if you are wanting this to be vegan, make sure you're reading the ingredients and making sure that your pasta doesn't have egg in it, okay? So after you boil your noodles, and I do it just like I would if I'm making regular mac and cheese. I boil my noodles, I put a little bit of oil in the water, I salted the water. When it came out, I actually think I put it back in the refrigerator. Let's see, it's a vegan margarine. And it's called Earth Balance. So
yes, yeah.
So this is what I use, Earth Balance. It's vegan, it's organic. To me, it tastes just as buttery as if you're using any other margarine or butter. And so I just use a little bit of that to butter my noodles. The rest of this is so easy. I'm going to try to go slow because it's that easy that I'm going to have to go slow on purpose. So here I have 2 cups of soy milk. I do not drink soy milk. Limit your soy. That's one thing I want to say. If you are going vegetarian, limit your soy. Soy increases estrogen levels and things like that in women and in men. And so be careful about how much soy you are ingesting or putting in your body. But from time to time, it's okay. I do. Again, like Kadesha said, I'm not a nutritionist nor dietitian. So if you are worried about your soy intake, make sure you talk to your doctor. But for me, every now and then, I do soy. So this is 2 cups of soy milk that I'm just going to pour right into my blender. This is 1 cup of nutritional yeast. So nutritional yeast, it's a very flaky, it's yeast and it's flaky and it has a cheesy taste. So you may see a lot of people use nutritional yeast. They'll put it on popcorn to give it a cheesy taste. But I'm going to put it in this mac and cheese so that it can be tasty. So 1 cup there. And then on here, I have the rest of what I'm just going to throw in there. So here this is about 1.5 tablespoons of yellow mustard. I have a half a tablespoon of sea salt. Be careful with sea salt. Sea salt is it's saltier than the regular fine salt that we have because the crystals are bigger. It's very dense. So a little bit goes a long way. So don't be generous with the sea salt. I do have some paprika here. That's 1 teaspoon. And then I have 1 clove of garlic. You can put more if you want to. I'm gonna put 1, like Tad said, because that's my business. But if you want to put 2 or 3 because you like garlic, go right on ahead because that's your business. But we're gonna put 1 in mine. So I have 1. I'm gonna put my paprika in there, my sea salt, and then I'm gonna put my yellow mustard. Okay, and then all I'm gonna do is put the top of my blender, and then I'm gonna start blending I'm just gonna start on low, just to start getting things mixed up, and then I'm gonna increase it. Once I increase it, here I have about 3/4 cups of vegetable oil. It's soybean vegetable oil. So what you want to do is you're basically emulsifying the mixture that we have here. And when you emulsify it, it's going to make it thicken up. So I'm going to turn this up. It's probably going to get a little loud. And then what you do is you just slowly add the oil to your mixture.
I'm hungry now.
Me too. I think we're all on the edge of our seats waiting.
Like we really gonna be able to taste it virtually,
right?
You know?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness!
It's too cool. I like that. I need to give me a blender like that. Or a processor.
That's a real cooker.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna give it. Usually you want to blend it for a while. I'm gonna give it one more quick blend because I know I want to make sure I'm cognizant of time.
Look, Belinda said yes. That's a real good butter.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna show you how when I stick my spoon in it, you see how it's coating my spoon now because it's gotten thick.
Oh, wow.
And then once you do that, all you're gonna do is pour it on your noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I'm gonna mix that up.
Girl, you lived a little closer.
It smells so good. I'm sorry.
It still looks creamy though. It still looks creamy.
It is. And I just have one of these small loaf pans because I didn't make a whole bunch of it. So I'm gonna make I have a small loaf pan, and you're gonna cook this at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. And that's your mac and cheese. So that's why I say, I mean, it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be very, very simple recipes like this. And then you make this and pair it with, some sauteed spinach or some green beans. And now you have a vegetarian meal that's going to be hearty. You have your pasta that's going to fill you up. And you have your green vegetable on the side. You don't have to put any chicken or anything like that with it.
I love it. Girl, go make me some dinner. I'll be over in a minute.
Oh my goodness, help me.
I love it. That was so
good.
I
want some macaroni and cheese.
Vegan, Alisha, vegan.
Oh, sorry.
Patricia Lee in the chat said that looks good.
Oh,
it does look good.
Oh,
it really does.
I mean, I think one way, maybe if you have, I know you sent me some recipes, and maybe we could just put your name in the chat. And if anybody wants some vegetarian recipes that they can try, maybe they can reach out to you via Facebook or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, please. If you want vegetarian or vegan recipes, I've sent Kadesha some recipes, some things you wouldn't even think that you could make. I sent her a meatloaf recipe that uses, I feel like when I say this, Alicia's going to be like, what, girl? No. But it's a meatloaf that you use Special K cereal and cottage cheese. And it's really good. I've made it for coworkers, and you put some gravy on it, and they're like, this is really good. So there's a lot of creative ways to make meatloaves and things like that. So yeah.
I love it. I
love it too. And you could do some vegan desserts, but we may have to bring her back for that.
Yeah.
Now that we could do. No.
Next time, I love we'll make some cupcakes or pies or something.
Davina, well, we are so grateful for
thank you
and sharing your lifestyle with us, and prayerfully you inspire one or two or maybe three.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
inspired.
you guys so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome, honey.
Who's hungry?
Oh my goodness. Well, it was funny because as she was going along, I was thinking about my nephew Malik, because I think he's vegan. I'm not sure now which one he is, but when she was going through all that, I'm like, oh my God, he's probably like, I was telling you before. Oh man, I love it.
To me, I think we had a comment, Malik, who said,
okay, I didn't know he was on.
Yeah, he was like, it's about rewiring your mind. So really, that's what it is about, to be able to be open-minded, for one thing, like Kadesha said, and then rewiring your mind to be open and to know, just like Davina said, it's not going to taste exactly like the real thing. So just those little adjustments in our thinking can help us to really embrace a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle.
Yeah, he said he's vegan, Alisha.
Okay, all right. I knew it was one of it, Malik. I wasn't sure which one.
Wow.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
Well, I know we're ready to eat something good.
Look, I got my water. That's about it right now.
Yeah. But
look, I'm ready for a Swedish fish.
The Swedish fish? No, I'm trying to train.
Are they vegan?
Well, maybe by the name itself, it ain't vegan. Dang.
Well, like I said, I know we want to eat something good, but right now it's all about tell me something good. Well, with the next couple of minutes that we have with you, we're going to attempt to tell you something good that we saw on the news, on social media, or some health thing, I don't know, that we might hear in addition to what we already heard with our vegan/vegetarian recipe. So with that being said, take it away, Alisha.
Oh, right. I'll go ahead and kick us off. So my Tell Me Something Good story is about a young man by the name of Devarius Peters. He actually almost didn't get a chance to walk in his high school graduation in Louisiana because he didn't have the right shoes on. So they actually had a dress code where the guys had to wear, white shirt, tie, dress pants, and they couldn't have any athletic shoes on. Well, I guess he still wanted to be, stylish with his little swag. He got black leather sneakers with white bottoms, thought he would get away with it, but the graduation coordinator wasn't having it. She would not let him in the convention center. It was like crazy. So he's out there stressing because he couldn't even get in to tell his family what was going on. It's too late to be able to go to a store to buy anything. So he's panicking. And one of the paraeducators coming up, Mr. Butler, he was there not as a staff person, but his daughter was graduating. And he's like, Devarius, what are you doing out here? And he told him what was going on. And Mr. Butler was like, okay, this is crazy. Like, they're not going to let you walk because of this. So he figured if he would take him over to the graduation coordinator to explain, these are kind of dressy, they're not your regular athletic sneakers. She wouldn't let him in. So Mr. Butler, bless his heart, he said the only thing he could think to do was to give him his shoes. So he gave him his shoes. Now the challenge was Devarius wears a size 9. Mr. Butler wore a size 11. Now, Devarius was like, look, I don't care. I'll take him. So nobody knew. His family didn't know what was going on until he's crossing the stage and he's gliding. Like he's sliding because he's walking with them. And this whole story is funny. You got to check it out because his family, they're in the audience like, what does he have on his feet, first of all? And why is he walking like that? And in the meantime, people are looking at Mr. Butler like, why is this man here with no shoes on? Nobody was able to make the connection. So at the end was when they finally made the connection. But whoever wrote that story was awesome because you could actually hear both conversations, actually all 3 conversations, because Mr. Butler's sitting there like people looking at me, side-eyed and me like, what's wrong with this man? And poor Devarius is like, look, I can't walk because I'm end up falling. So he's gliding across the stage. And his mother is like, we brought him some brand new kicks for his graduation. Why don't he have them on? So I just had to bring it up because first and foremost, it brought up a lot of different emotions for me. First of all, in that I was happy that he graduated and, he had an encourager by way of Mr. Butler, but also it just also rings that we have to be mindful of people's situations because his mom said, what if we couldn't afford anything other than what he had on, and you're going to deny somebody that monumental opportunity to walk across the stage. So I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Butler for, just following his spirit and just giving him his shoes, and for Devarius for not worrying about his swag, go ahead and gliding across and get that diploma and just everybody coming out on top. So I just want to share that story.
That is good. Now that was funny. You got people cracking up in the chat because I feel like we all have those stories where something went wrong at graduation. Somebody got the wrong pant, the wrong color, they too tight, they too big. Like it's always something at graduation. I feel like it's in the cards that way.
It is.
I love that. That was hilarious. So my tell me something good is Swedish fish are vegan. Thank you, Malik. Okay. No, okay. Look, and I have some with my husband. He had some more tuck in there, and I looked at him right before the show. I'm like, all right, let me stay focused. But thank you, Malik, for that. So I actually just started another audio book. I was supposed to order it online, but I was like, you know what? I'm in the car. Let me just get it audio. And so anyway, that's my tell me something good. It's the power of well, first of all, no, let me back it up. No excuses. The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. So Brian Tracy is an author, speaker, entrepreneur, and he actually is a believer. I'm like, he's getting us with the word. Okay. But really good. I mean, I just started literally today on my way home, but he's really just, trying to get us to a point where we're not making excuses and start making progress. And so he's coming from, how to form habits of self-discipline so it becomes automatic and easy, kind of what Davina was telling us about, just being intentional and things of that nature, starting to form these habits, which is always going to start in your mind first. And then he goes to talk about like the law of cause and effect, which he takes it back to Old Testament about sowing and reaping. And so how that can work for us. And then he says, how you can join the top 20%, because for him, he always wants you to produce the most that you can, whether it's in life or in business. So how to join the top 20% of people who earn 80% of the wealth and rewards. And so one of the things that he said that stood out to me was everything that you begin starts out hard until it becomes easy. And so it's like one of those things. It's like, you know what? And honey, for me, it's working out, child. So the working out, even with these healthy lifestyles and things of that nature, of course, it's going to be hard to get through this thing in a day. But then once I do it, it becomes easy. So the key is just to start, right? Yeah. And, one of the things that we always say in business is, it's not about being perfect. It's just making progress. So that's just what we're here to do, is just to make. Girl, they still laughing about in the chat about them shoes. Girl, I gotta see. I'm looking at the video. But we just got look. He wasn't perfect. What's his name? Devarius. He was making progress, honey. He was gonna get that graduation.
That's determination.
Yeah. So, I know that's right.
Just making progress. And so again, the name of that book is No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline. That's my
I love it. That sounds good.
That does. Well, I'm just going to jump right in, because everything y'all were talking about kind of fell in line with what I was talking about in terms of the graduation and being intentional and all these things, because my story is about a person who also graduated from college. His name is Derek Harris, and he graduated from high school back in 2014, but his father ended up passing away, and he really did want to go to college, but it was imperative for him to find a job with benefits because his father had passed away and he needed to take care of himself. So he got this job as a custodian at a local elementary school. And so he finally decided to go back to school. And this I found on Facebook, and the person's page is Elizabeth White. So shout out to Elizabeth White for this story. And she did a great job because she posted a video of him walking through the hallways of this elementary school. And as he's walking through the school, I think this video has to be about 6 minutes long, but he's walking through the halls of this elementary school, and it's lined with all of the students and the teachers of the school. And as he's walking through with his graduation gown and cap on, they're all congratulating him, giving him fives. They have signs up congratulating him for this milestone. And so he wants to end up being a teacher as well. So I think it's just kind of awesome how everything came full circle, that he ended up working for a school, and now he wants to be an educator. So this is just a story about determination, not giving up, and staying the course for what you want to do. So that's my tell me something good.
Woo, woo. That's good.
That was awesome, ladies. Well, we
I love
had another phenomenal, awesome, amazing show, whatever you want to call it.
All those adjectives.
There you go. There you go. And we pray that you got some wisdom throughout, because we don't have time for the wisdom corner.
No,
Amen. So we pray that you got some wisdom on how to eat, on how to be self-disciplined, on how to get a new pair of shoes in less than 2.5 seconds. Okay. So we appreciate you for watching, for tuning in. First of all, you do not want to miss next week. So go ahead and put it in your calendar right now. We have a powerhouse next week. Bring your tissue, bring your anointing oil, all that and some. Okay. So we're going to have a good time next week. So remember, we're here next week, same time at 8:00. We love y'all. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay in faith.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.